For the phlebotomy exam, you absolutely must know the difference between plasma and serum, as it's a frequently tested concept that impacts patient care, test accuracy, and lab efficiency. The fundamental difference boils down to one key protein, fibrinogen. Plasma contains fibrinogen, while serum does not. This single difference is the foundation for everything else you need to know for the exam. Plasma is the liquid portion of blood when clotting has been prevented. To get plasma, you must draw blood into a tube containing an anticoagulant, like the lavender top with EDTA, the green top with heparin, or the light blue top with sodium citrate. These anticoagulants stop the clotting cascade in its tracks, preserving all the clotting factors, including fibrinogen, in the liquid component. Serum, on the other hand, is the liquid that remains after the blood has been allowed to clot. This happens when you draw blood into a tube with no anticoagulant, like a red top, or a tube with a clot activator, like a gold or tiger top serum separator tube, also known as an SST. In these tubes, the clotting cascade proceeds, using up the fibrinogen to form a solid fibrin clot that traps the blood cells. What's left on top after you centrifuge is serum. The exam will test this concept by presenting scenarios. For example, a question might ask which sample is appropriate for a stat electrolyte panel for a patient in the emergency department. The answer is plasma. Why? Because you can't afford to wait 30 to 60 minutes for a serum tube to clot. With an anticoagulated tube, you can immediately centrifuge the sample and get the plasma to the lab for testing, which is critical for urgent care decisions. This is a common exam trap. They will test your understanding of turnaround time. Another way this is tested is through test-specific requirements. Coagulation studies, such as a prothrombin time or PT test, must be performed on plasma, specifically from a light blue top tube. The entire point of the test is to measure how well the clotting factors work. Since those factors are consumed during clotting, a serum sample would be useless. Conversely, many chemistry and serology tests require serum because the anticoagulants in plasma tubes can sometimes interfere with the testing methodology. The test menu always dictates the correct sample type. You might also encounter questions about sample volume. Plasma typically yields about 15 to 20% more liquid volume from the same amount of drawn blood compared to serum. This is because in a serum tube, elements get trapped in the fibrin clot, reducing the final liquid yield. To help you remember the core difference, use this simple phrase: plasma prevents clotting, serum settles after. Plasma tubes have anticoagulants that prevent the clot from ever forming. Serum tubes have no anticoagulant, so you let the clot form and settle at the bottom. Understanding this distinction is not just about passing a test question. It's about ensuring you collect the correct specimen to provide accurate and timely results for proper patient diagnosis and treatment. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.